Hey guys, today we're going to work on the 2000 Silverado 1500. It's my daily. It's a V6 truck, but it gets good gas mileage. Now, when I bought it, it had stocker tires on it, and they were pretty bald. So, started looking into takeoffs. So, what I mean by takeoffs is these guys buy these brand new trucks, and they put custom wheels and tires on them right away, and they got pretty much brand new stock sitting there. And I used to be able to grab them up pretty cheap and just throw them on my work trucks and whatnot, and brand new tires for cheap. Well, that's not the case anymore. I can't seem to find them out there all over Marketplace and things like that. They were coming up about $1,000 for a set. Well, I did some digging. I came up with these custom wheels on here. I know a lot of you guys are going to hate it, but understand they're brand new tires on 24-inch rims. Didn't have to lower the truck to get the look I wanted. It's a win-win. So let me show you these wheels. We're going to get them off, and I've got some other takeoffs I got with all-terrains on it. That time of year made things a lot better. So let's take a look. What we have is a 24-inch wheel with a 12-inch wide tire. They're big. They fill the wheel wells. They're 5-star. I really couldn't ask for much more. I mean, it was $1,000 for some takeoffs or $900 for these wheels here. Now they've got curb rash and whatnot. I didn't really care, but they gave the truck a look I wanted without having to lower it. Now, we're going to take these guys off and go with a different style tire because I own a farm and these aren't very good in the mud. So let's get these wheels off. So I'm always on Marketplace, whether I've got money or not, and just always looking for a deal. And I came across these. They're GMC wheels off of Avalon, and they're BF Goodrich KO2s. Now, I love these tires. They've always been good for me. They've got about quarter life in them. Now, a quarter life in this tire is going to last me at least a year. So I picked them up for $185 for all 4 wheels and tires, which in my book, that's a deal. So, issue is, went from these 6-lug Chevys that fit my 2000, and I did not pay attention that the GMC Avalon is not the same. So, I just thought Chevy 6-lug, Chevy 6-lug. Turns out, as usual, I was wrong. So, what we're going to be running are these adapters that I ordered. Now, I never used to really feel they were safe, but over the years lately, I've used these on a lot of vehicles. Remember the Love that we did the drag racing with? That had adapters on the rear. Never a problem. One of my other commuter cars, it blew an engine. And I had my little S10. You remember the commuter S10 that I did for $400? I took Toyota tires off a car and put it on that truck with adapters. So sometimes it's cheaper just to buy adapters and use the tires you got versus buying new tires. So, once again, I'm a rogue bastard. So, main deal with adapters. Make sure you torque them and torque them right. Okay? Not just the rim on, but the adapter to the hub. Make sure you torque them. So, the other issue that I don't know yet, because I didn't check it, is with the thickness of the adapter, is it going to rub or give me problems? We'll find out once it's on. Now, when installing these adapters, you want to torque them the same way you would do an actual tire. Now, you know, they always taught you a star pattern. You know, when you tighten the tire, you want to use the same specs that your truck says for the pattern and for the tightness. So, I do recommend, it's aluminum. Normally, after about 50 miles or so, I torque them again just to be safe. But let's get these tires and hope my clearance is right. I meant to tell you a minute ago, when you're torquing down that adapter, have a buddy, friend, somebody stand on the brake in the car so it'll hold it so you can torque it. Now, I have the wheel on now, and I don't have a helper, but I can ease it down and let it touch so I can torque it. That's what we're going to do. Talk about a big difference from this to that. Hopefully these will work out for me though. So I was airing the tire up while I moved to the next one, and I could hear something. So I came back up here. Sure enough, there's a nail in the tire. Part of it when you buy used stuff. Alright, so I'm using just your standard tire plug kit we have at work. What you have to do is you have to ream out the hole, then you can apply the actual plug with a little bit of... Now comes the fun part, putting the actual plug in. Kind of looks like a Twizzler. Never use this stuff. It's just tired of lubricant. Give it a shot. All right. Wonder how much lubricant I should use. That didn't work. Now I've screwed up. Lubricant's in there, and the plug just pulls out by hand. So, figure out how to fix this. You seen those new little screw-in ones? I bought some from Temu. I don't know where they're at. I don't remember them coming. But they're probably in the shop somewhere. And I'm out with. Round two. Well, that plug looks like it actually went in pretty good. The question is that lubricant going to let it just fly back out? Let's air it up and see. I'm waiting for the thing to come out like a rocket. Looks good. We'll give it a little while, set up, and then we'll trim it off. Let's get started. Well, first tire had a leak. Second one I'm working on, and I got a broken wheel stud. So let's get this wheel off. I'll show you how to replace it. Shit, it could be the easy one. No, had to be the freaking hard one. Got to pull the caliper. Can't just knock the stud out. Well, it had to be the one where the disc brake and then the e-brake is like a drum brake inside. So you don't have any opening just to knock the stud out. So the caliper's got to come off. Then hopefully I can get the rotor out. Then I can get to being able to knock the stud out. Man, this rotor is in bad shape. But that's for a later day. Now the easy part, we just knock this stud out because we can get it from the back now to get rid of it. Install the new one, tighten it up, get it seated, and then put everything back together. So what you do is you take the new stud, and we're lucky here, you can weasel it around in the back. There's just enough room to put the new one through. Now we got to suck down all that extra, so what I'm going to do is put a few washers on here and then take a old lug nut and I'm going to use it to pull it in. You're probably wondering why I used a box wrench around it and then I had washers. So when it pulled it in, the box wrench will leave enough opening for the shoulder of that stud to come through. Now it's all sucked in, ready to go. Let's get back to putting the adapters on. Now, if you don't have a special tool for compressing the caliper so you can get it back on, just a normal C-clamp on the back of it, squeezing it in, then it'll fit over the rotor. All the tires are on now, so go back to the first one that had the nail. Let's check the pressure. If it's good, let's go ahead and trim off the extra. It's good. So now we just take a razor blade and trim off the top of the plug. Well, it's all done, ready to go. Now, there was one weird thing about those rims I had, and I want to see if you guys picked up on it. So, these are the wheels. I've been driving on these for almost 10 months. My son comes out from Arizona. First thing he asks me is, Dad, why are one of the rims different than the other? That's right. This one's a 6-spoke, that's a 5-spoke. This one's different than the whole other ones. So remember, don't be so fast and get a good deal to stop paying attention to what you're buying. All right.